Welcome back to the streets of Nuremberg. Welcome back to the Norisring for race 2 of the weekend, round 2 of ADAC GT4 Germany, as we look across the beautiful Dutzendijk Lake here in the streets of Nuremberg. We are getting ready for the 4th race of the season for ADAC GT4 Germany. And if it's anything like yesterday, we are in for a treat. Well, the conditions have been glorious all weekend long. Now, as the GT4 cars line up on the grid, the rain has started to fall, albeit very slightly. The air temperature has gone down to a couple of degrees to 26 degrees centigrade. Jemo Hertling and Enrico Förderer have so far won every race that they've ever entered in ADAC GT4 Germany. They won both races at Oschersleben and they won yesterday. And in so doing, they have a perfect 75 points. Rafa Renhofer and Emil Heyerdahl are second in the points, but they are 30 points adrift of them. A former champion in the shape of Hugo Sasser has Roman Feldegg alongside him in the car. They are tied, no, not tied, they are in third, 36 points back from the race championship leaders. There is Gabriel Piana. He's the only driver to have ever started every single ADAC GT4 Germany race that there's ever been. And he continues that by starting third on the grid. He was one of the stars of yesterday's race. You briefly saw Victor Nielsen as well in the number 70 car starting second. What a great qualifying from here. Him and Oscar Christensen starting fourth on the grid. But fifth on the grid is a car and a driver combination that thoroughly entertained us yesterday. Philip Gogolok. What insane driving from both him and his teammate Henrik Still. They came home to take a 5th place. That is not a reflection on how much effort they put in, including a trip to the penalty box. It was pure entertainment. I would thoroughly recommend going back and checking out yesterday's race. There's Joel Mesh in the SR Motorsport by Schnitzeland Mercedes, and it is the SR Motorsport by Schnitzeland Mercedes that has won every race this year that starts on pole position once again. Emil Heyerdahl for Vimmerwerk Motorsport has been out on an intense training camp in Denmark with the rest of the crew, and Emil Heyerdahl will be looking to try and take the challenge all the way to the front in the number 92 car. Of course, he's sharing it with Rafa Renhofer, a former winner in GT4 Germany. Luciano Schneider is there. He had a tough day yesterday, made a fairly sizable contact with the wall, but we're pleased to say that ADAC Motorsport have got that Porsche 718 Cayman back together. He's on the grid and he's qualified it well. So good job there from everybody involved. The number 32 car takes its place ahead of Andreas Jochimsen for FK Performance Motorsport. So it's on the 4th row that Luciano Schneider has qualified, and he, along with Maxi Schreier, very potent combination in a very fast car. We'll have an eye on them. Lots to talk about, lots to occur, but you can see the umbrellas are up. I'm looking out of the commentary box window. It was spitting when I came to my commentary position a few minutes ago. Not enough at the moment to cause us a problem, but here around the Norisring, the streets of Nuremberg, these are streets that are used by the public all year round. They are roads and pavements, and they are very, very tricky. They're quite bumpy, and when it rains, you've got concrete, you've got tarmac, you've got bumps, you've got drain covers. It suddenly becomes an altogether different beast. This is a race that is 60 minutes plus 1 lap long, and it's going to be important for these drivers to get this rolling. They won't want the wet weather, I don't think, as we start on the 2 formation laps, because this is such a short circuit, just 2.162 kilometers around. It's about 1.3 miles, 5 turns, 4 to the left, 1 to the right. It is unique as it gets, running in an anti-clockwise direction around the streets of Nuremberg. This is an altogether different beast to what we've seen at Oschersleben. And on the starting grid is J-Mo Hertling, who has Victor Nielsen. Wonderful qualifying from him on the front row. Gabriele Piana and Oscar Christensen line up on row 2. Philip Gogelot, keep an eye on him, and Joel Mesh on row 3 of the grid. And on row 4, Emil Heyerdahl and Luciana Schneider on row 5. Andreas Jochimsen and Tommy Rackel, Yokel driver, and he did a brilliant drive yesterday, coming through the pack to finish 4th. Philip Skirschen and Luca Link are on row 6. On row 7, Max Rosam. Juliette Potelot struggling a little bit for pace, but down on row 7 could do some work there. Jamaica to the world. Tommy Gore has Anton Abbey alongside him, and former champion Hugo Sasser. A lot of work to do from row 9. Lawrence Hull alongside him. Joseph Ellerin, another South African driver, has Oscar Dix from East Sussex alongside him, and Axel Bengston are bringing up the rear of the pack. I did mention just briefly there Tommy Rackel and Linus Harner. They started 18th on the grid yesterday. They finished in 4th. So anybody who tells you you can't overtake at the Norisring, well, you are very, very much mistaken, because they have proven otherwise. Right, you can see the headlights are on. The track is pretty slick. We've got rubber that's been laid down by all the racing that has been occurring this weekend. So there's a bit of grip out there to be had. The pace is very, very quick around here, but with the potential of rain, this could get very lively indeed. We're on the 2nd of the formation laps, and now the instruction is given to the drivers to grid up. It will be a side-by-side formation as we head along the Zeppelinstrasse into the hairpin. This circuit, which is essentially 2 hairpins joined together by a couple of straights, and then we've got an S-bend down one of the straights as well. It is so unique. It is unforgiving. The concrete walls, I have to tell you, they do not move. We don't have track limits issues here because it's what we call self-regulating. The drivers need to keep it on the tarmac. They need to keep it out of the wall, but they need to extract every last thousandth of a second here, because this is a circuit like no other. With the rain spitting down here at the Norisring, we are getting ready for race 4 of a 12-race season. 5 red lights on, 5 red lights off, and we are go. The cars spreading out 4, 5, even 6 abreast, but they're going to funnel in to this tight Grundig turn, turn 1. The first trick is getting it all around there. J-Mo Hertling has got a good getaway, leading the pack through on board with Max Rosa. There is the traffic jam. That's the first result of the day. They made it around turn 1. Alongside me in the commentary box, we had a great day yesterday, enjoying the race from GT4 Germany. Dave Richardson, we're looking for another good one today.
I think you're right. The first trophy should be awarded, first of all, for getting through turn 1 with no skirmish whatsoever. And fair play and fair credit to all the drivers. Brilliant driving so far, but I'm just literally, I've just walked into the studio having been into a production meeting and board meeting, as you would expect of my management status. And as I walk back here, there was just a spit or two of rain, so let's be cautious.
Right, here we go then. Along the pit straight we come in single file, or maybe not. There's a couple of teammate BMWs there that look like 2 of the ME Motorsport cars. They're on board with Tommy Rackel. He lives just up the road from this circuit. He's been looking forward to this all season long, and he wants to get his way forwards. Remember, he made up all those positions yesterday. Julien Potelot in the BWT Muka Motorsport Mercedes, a lot further back than he would have wanted, but he's a driver who can work the traffic and he can push his way forwards, as is the case of Hugo Sasser in the number 19 car. Out they come then, just settling down into this race. It's a 60-minute plus 1 lap race with a mandatory pit stop. The pit window will open 25 minutes into the race, and it will remain open for 10 minutes. During that period of time, every car will need to come in for a mandatory stop and driver change. Right, out along the pit straight we come. There is Philip Gogelot looking a little bit vulnerable to Luciana Schneider. There is our race leader, J-Mo Hertling. Gabriele Piana, massively experienced.
You've taken the words out of my mouth. Yemo has got Gabriele Piana right behind. Now, I would have thought Gabriele Piana has done a lot of laps here at the Norisring. I think he knows this place inside out, Brian. And, you know, track knowledge, and I appreciate the track evolves because of it being public roads from one year to the next, but just being aware of where those bumps and drain covers might be, does that give you an advantage?
I think it might do, and he is a former winner here. Luciano Schneider, don't bend it. That's exactly what he's done into a teammate. I think that's Gogolok that he's turned around. The two ADAC Motorsport Porsches making contact with each other. Is that the #1 car? I think it is. So, that is an absolute disaster. Gogolok getting collected. And Luciano Schneider, who made sizable contact with the wall yesterday, they had to rebuild that car overnight. Here we see here, fairly optimistic run into Dutzendijk, couldn't get it slowed down, and went barreling into Philip Gogolok. The other two cars behind just scattering to get out of the way, but that is such a shame for the driver who entertained us so much yesterday.
He was so good yesterday, wasn't he?
Now, has he got enough damage to put him out of the race? It's certainly put him a long way down, and Luciano Schneider, I think there might be some tense discussions in the team boss when this is all done. You can see a fairly sizable impact, and Schneider on his debut here at the Norisring, he's lost the headlight, but yeah, that's not good news, is it?
The incident is under investigation, Kel Surprise. Oh, and that is a great shame. Are they going to be able to get it out again?
That is the 30 car.
I beg your pardon, you're right. I apologise.
Yeah, Tommy Gore from Jamaica, who's into the pit, so there's been an issue there for him as well. And the large Jamaican contingent will be shouting. There's a headlight there. He's just lapped his own headlight. The number 32
That's
car.
It's got to come in. It's got to come in.
Yeah, I mean, that is an ailing car, isn't it? So he just pulls it to the side and he's going to go into the pit lane. That is such a shame. The team did such a lot of work rebuilding the corner of that car after yesterday's impact, and his teammate, the other driver of the number 32 car, Maxi Schreier, I don't think he's even going to get to sit in the seat today, which is such a shame. Meanwhile, out the front, Jamo Hertling leads by 0.6 of a second from Gabriele Piana. Out along the pit lane they come, out along the pit straight they come. He's opened it up by a couple of tenths, so now 0.867. Gabriele Piana, a massively experienced driver. The other car that started on the front row, Victor Nielsen, in third place, but now coming under fire from Oscar Christensen.
You're right, Oscar Christensen is really piling the pressure on for that P3 position now. So Nielsen having to stick his elbows out and just make that BMW a tad wider than it really is. Thus far, he's been able to see off any challenge from Christensen, but he's going to have to adopt that strategy. Oh, my goodness me, that's just dust, though.
Yes, that is Giulio Potolo. And his weekend goes from bad to worse. It looks like there's been some contact. So that's the car that Luca Bosco started in yesterday. He's not going to get in the seat of that either. And if he leaves that there, I think we're going to get a full course yellow.
I think you're right.
Or even a safety car. Right, what's happened here? Has he done it unaided? Oh, please don't say the 18 car. That's his teammate. Now, was there any? No, there wasn't.
I think he was trying to avoid that slowing Aston Martin.
I have to say, it's a great relief for BWT Muka. And yeah, he actually he didn't avoid it, he clipped it. So the slowing number 17 car with Anton Abbey at the wheel, that's going to have a Mercedes-shaped dent in the back of it as well. And I have to say
there's nothing he could do about that.
And Axel Bengston did a good job just not getting involved in that as well. He took avoiding action in the number 18 sister BWT Muka car. Right, full course yellow as anticipated. We got a bit of debris. From that, we've got a car stranded. We've also got a headlight last time I looked on the exit at turn 4. So they'll want to get all that sorted out, and there's a fair bit of carbon fibre there as well. And just as well, we can't see the mouth of Julien Potelos because there may have been some French expletives there. Should I say Swiss expletives, because that will be so frustrating for Julien Potelos.
I honestly don't think he could have done anything about that.
Nicht abschleifen, dann macht ihr alles kaputt.
It's kaputt.
Yeah. And I think they're trying to tow it, and he's saying, look, mate, this has got no steering.
You're going to do more
you're
damage.
Just going to drag the tyre sideways. Well, clearly, the man in the VW's got better ideas, so let's see what happens here. This is entertainment in its own right.
The front comes off, that'd be handy,
well, it would be the first time we've seen that. So they'll try and drag that car to safety.
Oh,
yes. I mean, come on. It looks like one of those floor polishers, doesn't it?
That's a very good descriptive.
Thank you. The headlight's still out there. So if anyone got a Porsche Cayman, need a spare headlight, there's one out on the track there, although it may have seen a little bit of action, I think, by the looks of things. So a bit of debris blowing in there as well.
The thing is, those shards, they can, oh, I think we've just realised that maybe this isn't going to work quite as well as we anticipated.
Orange Army do a phenomenal job, and thank you to them who allow us to go racing. I think maybe they'd have had the same camera angle that we had. They might have just got the low loader out and picked it up. So I don't think the Apollo car is going anywhere anytime soon. The frustration, I just think that Julien Apollo, he's had to wait since April to get back into the seat of this car. Such was the gap between rounds 1 and 2. Yeah, kaput indeed. So, yeah, I spoke to Julien yesterday, and he said, we've just been struggling for pace in that car, both at Oschersleben and here this weekend. For some reason, we haven't got the straight line speed that we're expecting.
Right, so what they're going to do is lift that now. They realise that steering is kind of not possible.
You think?
All right, no need to be quite so cutting about it, young man. Yeah, what a great shame. What a great shame. Here we go.
Right, this is what we need, the heavy lifting equipment. So
DJ Sapple on the way.
So here comes the truck, and I don't know, there was some 60s reference, I expect. Out of the car gets Julien Apollo, so he doesn't need to, well, he was never going to steer it anyway, was he? So that's a shame. The BWT Motorsport Mercedes will go back to the garage, and they will be scratching their heads. They've got until August at the Nürburgring to work out where the pace is in that car. Well, steering is the first place to start, but it is lacking in pace prior to that as well. Julien Apollo looks on, and I feel for Luca Bosco and Julien. They had a rubbish time at Oschersleben, and Luca Bosco got caught up in an accident that was not of his making in race 2 on the opening lap, and now this as well. I think their season may get well underway eventually. Lots of people looking on, and the terrace is packed here. 112,000 spectators here this weekend at the Norisring, enjoying lots of racing. Well, not enjoying much racing at the moment. We're on a full course yellow. It means the cars are 80 kilometers an hour, but strictly no overtaking, because they should, in theory, be going at the same speed.
Yeah, you say in theory. And what a full course yellow does, other than safety car, and forgive me, I'm sure you're aware of this, is it protects the gaps that are out there. So, for example, JMO, who had built a margin of what? 4.083
last time across the line.
That margin should be protected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the theory. The problem is everybody accelerates and decelerates at a different time. But it certainly seems fairer than a full safety car, in which case there'd all be nose to tail. The other problem with the safety car here at the Norisring is it's such a tricky circuit. You kind of don't want them stacked up when you're heading into the Grundig turn 1. There is the BWT Mucker Motorsport Mercedes. I have a feeling we might end up with a delayed pit window at this rate, because the pit window is due to open when the clock strikes 35. So we're right at the moment, we're still at 8 minutes, but the race director might extend it just to give the drivers that are doing the first stint a bit more time behind the wheel. We'll see how that one unfolds. But yeah, it's all fairly much, not much happening at the moment. We've lost Anton Abe in the number 17 car. He got collected. He was the collectee. Julien Apollo was the collector. We've lost him, and Luciana Schneider, who collected Philip Gogolok. So lots of collecting going on, not a lot of racing at the moment. The good news is for Gogolok is that he has been able to continue. I think the car might have some interesting handling characteristics, but he's up to 16th place. So
he's driving through it.
Yeah,
whatever. Well,
if there is a problem, and
oh, there's a puncture.
Well, yeah, that's Not going to do, who was that? That's one of the sister cars to Gogolock.
No, that is Gogolock. That is Gogolock. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, top job. Yeah, what else are we going to do?
So, tarmac, you want to run there.
I'll tell you what, let's bring some rain in as well. Let's have brighten up, shall we? Right, full course yellow is still out at the moment. The incident.
That's why, because we ride on board with
the flying Mercedes.
You can't come in here and make my cars fly. That's very nearly a museum piece, you know.
Levitating up the head of the marshals to be dumped onto the low loader.
Oh, I don't think it'll be dumped.
No, carefully placed. So that'll be out of the way soon. Control yourself. And that'll be back to the pit. So there is where Juliet used to sit, his seat insert there with the Swiss flag. Sadly, his posterior is not sat in it because he is out of the race. And Luca Bosco already know that the driver from Italy, who has such a big fan club, great driver. Coming into this season, Luca Bosco, Juliet Potelot, I thought were the favourites for the championship. I think that was probably the kiss of death at that point. Unfortunately, Bosco is going to take his race suit off and may as well get the next plane back to Italy, I should think, because he's not going to be behind the seat of that car. Right, the number 70 car, Victor Nielsen, you can see he's thinking, I could just floor it. Do you think anyone would notice? Second place, Gabriella Piana. There's Oscar Christensen. I have to say, Oscar Christensen, good job done by him and Victor Nielsen, both of whom are making their debuts in this series this year. So Oscar Christensen, it is, he got 9th place at Oschersleben, and that's his best ever finish in GT4 Germany. Victor Nielsen qualified on the front row, and Victor Nielsen, he got a 9th place at Oschersleben. So they are in a great position to get best evers. We're still on the full course. I thought they were speeding up for a minute there, but I think that's just them coming out of the corner. No, there's still the truck on the course. We are getting painfully close to the pit window. That's not circus skills that we're practicing here at MX Motorsport. This is actually to do with coordination and response time. All the drivers that are not sat in the seats at the moment that are due to be are limbering up, and of course the adrenaline is pumping, not helped by the fact that we are not at racing speed. There's Philip Gogolock. Despite the fact that he's had everything thrown at him, he's still out there. He's got Joseph Ellerine in front of him. There's Juliet Potelot. It's taken me 5 years to learn how to pronounce his name, but finally, he was in prototypes this time last year, was very, very good in that as well, has really come back to his roots for 2025 and maybe wishing it stayed in the prototypes the way things have been unfolding this year so far. But we've got plenty more time. It is only race 4 of a 12-race season. Lots more still to come. We're going to be at the Nürburgring, the Saxon Ring, the Red Bull Ring, and the Hockenheim Ring after this, so plenty more racing. Jamo Hertling just weaving to try and keep the heat into the tyres, and very telling that the windscreen wipers are going on an intermittent on the Gabriella Piana car in 2nd place. There is definitely rain in the air, but I would say not enough to cause us a problem at the moment. You okay there? And you're frustrated by the rain?
No. So now with the car having disappeared, hopefully we can go back to racing.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? Oh, yes, okay. Yes, about 7 minutes remaining. We might still be here on Tuesday, just look at the news we've just had. So, Gabriella Piana in 2nd place. He will be going very shortly, as indeed with Jamo Hertling. 5.4 is the gap between 1st and 2nd. Now, the incident has been reported to the stewards that brought out this, but of course both cars are out of the race, so it's kind of not going to make any difference, certainly to the outcome of this race. Right, full course yellow ending in 10 seconds. So we are about to get back racing. We are 7 minutes away from the pit window, but that may be delayed. We are go once again.
So some movement early on then as we get going once again. P4, P5 under threat here.
There is Gabriel Piana, windscreen wipers going. There is rain on the lens, now under braking into the corner, just getting slowed down. Oscar Christensen with Joel Mesh almost making contact with the Mercedes. Lots of attacks going on further back. Great opportunity as we get up to speed. There is Hugo Sasser in 9th place. Philip Viskersen is there as well, on board with Tommy Rackle in the number 77 car. Made such good progress. Car 40 under investigation. That's Lawrence Rule for speeding under a full course yellow. So Lawrence Rule having an investigation done for potentially speeding. He's all the way down in 15th at the moment.
All the data is available to them. They will be able to tell if that was indeed the case. And generally speaking, when you see that a car is under investigation for speeding under a full course yellow, it's normally a slam dunk, because as I say, all the data is available to race control.
Yes, they normally have a reason for their suspicions. We're looking at the Duxon Daikin, and that is one of the Wimmer Wirth cars going spinning. And that is contact from the BMW, so that is the OnlyFans number 92 car being driven by Emil Heyerdahl for Wimmer Wirth Motorsport. So that's going to be another one that stewards are going to need to take a look at. And the ME Motorsport BMW, I think it was, getting into it. Doesn't look like there's been any damage, but a sense of deja vu of what we've seen already. Now, meanwhile, Gabriele Piana has got the gap down to 2.7 seconds to J-Mo Hurtling. Now, whether that was on acceleration after the green or whether Piana has pace, but we'll keep an eye on that. It's up to 2.891 at the moment, but Piana still very much in the hunt. And yes, it was the 66 car of Philip Viskersen that had got into the number 92 Porsche.
So quite a battle going on behind between Nielsen and Christensen. That continues to light up nicely, and Mesh trying to get an invitation into that little party as well as we continue. And we're not so far away from the pit window opening. I don't think it has been moved, has it?
No, I haven't seen anything yet. So that's everything carrying on as normal. We've still got just under 40 minutes plus 1 lap of this race remaining. But of course, it will all change. Everything could be up in the air in terms of positioning once the pit window does open. Right, 2.6, so Piana is closing, albeit slowly. Now, I would just point out that Gabriele Piana is the more experienced of the two drivers, but I'll come back to that in a moment. 3rd place, Oscar Christensen challenging Victor Nielsen, and Nielsen, nice bit of drifting. Maybe there's some moisture on the track. He gathers it all up, but Christensen through into 3rd place. That was a great save there from Victor Nielsen. I have to say,
was there? Let's see it all over again.
Handbrake much? No, but he corrects it. I thought he was going round. That's really good stuff there. And I wonder if the track maybe has got some moisture on. I'm looking out the window. The rain is now coming down. I can see it. Race control have confirmed that by declaring it a wet race. It means that if drivers do wish to switch to wet weather tyres, they can. Car 70 also under investigation for speeding under a full course yellow, and that is the 3rd place, Victor Nielsen, or indeed the 4th place, because we've just seen him have that slide. So he is under investigation for speeding under a full course yellow as well. I think it might be that the rain is starting to affect the surface.
Yes, I think you might be right there. It's had a lot of rubber out on it during the course of this weekend, where it's been as hot as anything. But now, with that rain coming down, the conditions could very quickly become really rather more treacherous for these drivers. And these surface changes, where it goes from tarmac to concrete, all of a sudden become a little trickier to deal with.
And we've got a penalty that has been issued for Lawrence Rule for speeding under the full course yellow. He's going to have to visit the penalty box 2 times. So penalty box is on the exit of turn 1. He'll have to pass through that at no more than 50 kilometers an hour. It'll be the equivalent to adding about 5 seconds onto his lap time. He's got to do that twice. It'll be about 10 seconds. That'll drop him, I think, pretty well to stone last. Having said that, Tommy Gore is a lap down. We saw him in the pits earlier. Clearly, there'd been a problem there. Also, car car 20, no, sorry, that's just changed, car 70, a penalty lap. So 4th place, Victor Nielsen. Also a penalty lap, although only one in this instance. So the number 70 car is going to lose that position to Joel Mesh, because he's going to have to visit the penalty box next time around. There is Joel Mesh in the Mercedes just behind him. So when he goes into turn 1 next time, he's up at turns 4 at the moment, and he'll be back round onto the pit straight shortly. He'll have to indicate, I think they'll have to light up the hazard lights, and then he'll pull to the inside. He'll have to slow down. He needs to take it. He cannot cross the start-finish line any more times, otherwise there will be a further penalty incoming. So we're keeping an eye on this here. The blue and white BMW is off shot at the moment, so in theory he should be, as we speak. Right, here we go. Oh, he hasn't done it. So maybe the team are appealing it. Maybe they've got something to say about that. I don't think he's taken it already, let's put it that way.
There's one taking a penalty lap right now.
That's the number 20 car. We saw that one flagged
isn't it?
up. Luca Link, who got a penalty lap for speeding on the full course yellow. That one came in under the radar, actually. So there's 3 cars that were penalised for speeding. There were 2 penalty laps for car 40, Lawrence Rule, and 1 penalty lap each for Luca Link and the number 70 car, Victor Nielsen. As far as I can see, I don't think Nielsen has taken it yet. We will see whether he does this time around. It may well be that the team have some data to argue it, but I don't see what data you can have. Let's have a look here. Looking down on turn 1. Now, will he peel in? Yes, he will. So he left it a bit late in the day. I thought they could only cross the start-finish line once, but maybe that's not the case. Right, pit window is 10 seconds away. There'll be 10 minutes that this window will be open, and during this 10 minutes, every car will need to come into the pits for a mandatory stop and driver change. There's no tyre changes normally, but of course, if the heavens were to open, then they may well decide to come in for wet weather tyres. You might find some teams waiting till late in the window in case that happens.
At the moment, I wouldn't have said it's wet enough, would you?
No, and the forecast has said that there may be some odd light showers, and that is all this is at the moment. It's certainly not wet weather tyre territory, so I don't think that is going to make any difference at the moment, although clearly traction is a little bit limited. Right, Philip Viscursion is in. It's been a lively session for him. He'll be handing over the BMW to Tim Reiter. You'll wonder what the clock is that's ticking down. 90 seconds from pit entry. Make that 95 seconds from pit entry to pit exit. That is the minimum pit stop time. They cannot go below that.
Which we did see a couple of examples of that yesterday, and drivers and teams were penalised for that. So you have to be pinpoint accurate and make sure that you do serve the time that you need to in the pit lane. There's kind of no hurry, is there? Because,
absolutely none.
Yeah, that is the minimum, and you've got to be doing that.
So there's Joseph Ellerin coming in. He's heading over to Benjamin Silvesterson, the Finnish driver for FK Performance Motorsport. So Joseph Ellerin, they've done a good job. They got a 12th place yesterday to go with their 14th and 12th from Oschersleben. So the incoming driver helps to drag the outgoing driver out of the car and helps to get buckled in. Meanwhile, everybody stays out on track. A lot of drivers leaving it late in the window that I can see. And it might be that they are just covering off the possibility of rain, but I don't think, from what I can see, that it doesn't look like the rain is going to get any heavier, certainly not enough to warrant wet weather tyres. I would just say, you talked about the concrete and the tarmac being slippery. Also, the white lines have very little traction as well. So this place in the wet can be pretty hazardous. It's not affecting J-Mo Hurtling at the moment. 2.855 clear of Gabriella Piana. Is it gonna be 4 wins out of 4 for these 2 drivers? Lawrence Rule into the pits. Only 2 team members allowed to work on the car, and the work is minimal. It's taking tyre pressures, maybe just cleaning any vents that might be blocked. The outgoing driver, look at the brake dust rising out of the car. That is Max Rosam, I think, that was coming in, handing over to Denny Burns. Yeah. So that's the view. The seat insert gets taken out. Of course, every driver has a different build. Max Rosam's fairly tall. Denny Burnt, not so much. So they have seat inserts so that they fit into their driving seat. Each driver takes their seat insert with them. Then the incoming driver will get on board. The outgoing driver, just so you can see there, great example, helping him to get buckled up, get him plugged in, wish him good luck, tap in on the helmet, slam the door shut, and he'll be on his way. Right, look at this. The 31 car. This is the fight for third place. That is Oscar Christensen there as well. Oscar Christensen and... oh, that's the back marking car, isn't it? The 66 car, beg your pardon, don't panic. Tim Reiter, who has been in for a stop now. Igor Litvinenko in as well in the 91 car. Well, he's taken over from Oscar Dix, who started the race. Denny Burnt in the number 10 car, who takes over from Max Rosam. So they are the only people that have pitted, apart from the 66, the 40, and the 23. So a lot of cars staying out late in the window. J-Mo Hurtling will be in no hurry at all to come in because he's got a clear track in front of him. They're getting used to this. I would just repeat the statistic that I mentioned at the start of this show. Enrico Federer and J-Mo Hurtling have won every single ADAC GT4 race that they've ever started. That is quite some statistic, easy for me to say, and they're going to certainly try and keep that one going. They're leading the way here. The 77 car is in as well, so that's Tommy Rackle finally saying goodbye to his home race, handing over to Linus Hana. What a combination those two are, who came from 18th to 4th in yesterday's race, and currently into the pits they come. So still 11 cars yet to come in for their stop. There is Linus Hana behind the wheel of the ME Motorsport BMW, the team that is owned and run by Marcus Eicheller. Marcus, who says it hurts a little that I'm no longer behind the wheel myself, but I know the time has come to get others to do the driving of my cars. He prepares some really quick BMWs. There's a couple of quick BMWs here.
Absolutely.
And they're heading into turn one. Litvinenko there, who has just come out of the pits, making way for those two cars that come sailing through. One of them is the 22 car of Andreas Jochimsen. So this is for position. Victor Nielsen in there as well. So 5th and 6th. Also there, Hugo Sassa in the Aston Martin, the sole remaining Aston Martin in this race. And look at this, Hugo Sassa having a little look at Igor Litvinenko. They're not in the same race at the moment because Litvinenko has now just joined the race coming out of his pit stop. It's having a look here. Oh dear, the number 1 car once again in the battles. The 92 car getting into the back. So that's Gogolok and Heyerdahl getting up close and personal. I should think they're going to need some spare parts for that number 1 car when this is all done.
Gogolok has been in it today, hasn't it?
I really tell you. Right, race leader into the pits. So, J-Mo Hurtling, Enrico Federer, all change. It's Federer who will take over the wheel of the SR Motorsport by Schnitzelam Mercedes. He'll want to time it so they hit the exit line of the pits when the clock strikes 0. Every 10th of a second is valuable. While they're in the pits, it means Gabriella Piana takes the lead.
This car here, the BMW, the black, blue and yellow BMW that heads past the pits now. I would wager that FK Motorsport will want to keep him out there as long as possible because he is the quicker of the two between himself and Berke Besler as the more experienced. You can see from the graphic, the car 77. Hana, isn't it?
Yeah, Linus Hana for a pit stop infringement. It may have been coming into the pits, it may have been coming out. That's Linus Hana and Tommy Rackle were the pilots of that car. So clearly, the heavily regulated pit stops, there has been some possible infringement. Right, look at that for perfection. 1/10 of a second.
Perfect, well done. And that's the team and driver combo working well together, isn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. They're not allowed, you could say, well, surely just park up at the white line and go, but you can't do that. You can't slow down. Once you're in the fast lane, you are committed. Hugo Sasser is in. He's handing over to Roman Feldegg in the number 19 Pro Sport Racing Aston Martin. And can I just say as a side note, it's really good to have Pro Sport back in ADAC GT4 Germany this year. A very, very welcome addition. Christopher Esser's team, who brings so much. Of course, former championship winner is Hugo Sasser. Right, let's passing through the penalty box, taking it nice and quickly, has Linus Harner. He's picked up a penalty lap for that pit stop infringement. I don't know what the infringement was, but that will have hurt a little bit. So a lot of the hard work that was done by he and Tommy Rackle, a little bit going to waste because he's down in 14th place now, but he'll no doubt be pushing forwards from there. Gabriele Piana leads the way. I reckon he's going to come in at the very last minute. You watch him come in now. Now I've said that. No, he's
you're
out.
right.
Because he, as I've mentioned numerous times before, he has started every single GT4 Germany race that there's ever been. As we see those brake discs glowing, he has a lot of experience. And no disrespect to Berke Besler, who is incredibly experienced himself, but not in this discipline.
Right.
Therefore, Piana has the best opportunity to make up ground on the number 11 car.
But he has only got a minute.
He's got to come in.
You know, he could do another lap, couldn't he?
Yeah.
But that would have to be the last one, I would have thought. Taking a prediction on where we're at with the pit window right now. We've got 1 minute left. So remainder of this lap, he could do one more lap, then he would have to come in. But I think it might be this lap.
I think it'll be this lap. We've seen it before, where drivers have left it to the last minute and then had a problem on the in lap, and they missed the window. He can't afford to do that, and I don't think he would not have got around. So into the pit lane he comes.
No.
And the rest of the cars now following in. So Oscar Christensen, Joel Mesh. Now Gogolok has not been shown. Please don't tell me he's missed the pit window, because this really, do you know what? I think Philip Gogolok may have missed the pit window because he's not been shown as in the pits. Well, he's had everything else. He might as well have a pit infringement as well. Right, now he's showing us in the pits, but did he go across the line after the clock struck 0? No, it hasn't. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
It's still got
the
9
clock's
seconds.
delayed that I was looking at. So no, that is fine. All right, all the there's a red P next to Renhofer, but all the Gogolok Henry Still fans, relax, no panic. He's into the pits. Right, Rafael Renhofer. There's a bit of a disaster potentially incoming for number 92, because Rafael Renhofer potentially has gone below the minimum pit stop time. Might have been by about 0.3 of a second. So that red P is always bad news. Is the red P? Everybody else is in. And Berke Besler jumps in behind the wheel of the car that has been occupied by Gabriele Piana, but this is the car that is going to re-inherit the lead. Enrico Ferderer, they're making it look very easy this year. Now, but I would remind you that last year, Gabriele Piana and Michael Schreit were having a similar run, and they did not go on to win the championship, so a lot can change. Not that I'm wishing anything on the number 11 car, but what I'm saying is that nothing is set in stone when it comes to GT4 Germany. Right, investigation for car 92, Rafael Renhofer for a pit stop time. We had a feeling that one was incoming, didn't we? Enrico Ferderer carries on in the lead, having taken over from Jamo Hertling. Berke Besler carries on in second, having taken over from Gabriele Piana. Good job, though. Lachlan Robinson, a lot of pressure for him now, having taken over from Oscar Christensen. So Lachlan Robinson, who's registered, well, all over the place. He's British last time I spoke to him, but I'm not sure what he's registered this week. Right, penalty lap one time. Sorry, it's rude. For 92. So, Renhofer and Rafael Renhofer, who's also been guesting in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany this year. And how good has he been? This is going to take a little bit of the sting out of his challenge for points here this afternoon. He will have to visit the penalty box box. We have 23 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race 4 of a 12-race season for ADAC GT4 Germany. Yesterday was very, very thrilling indeed. One of the best races we've seen in a long time. It stole the show. Today, already shaping up to be a humdinger, although Enrique Federer, with a 4.4-second gap over Berke Besler, would be quite happy if this is as dull as ditch water and that he can just carry on doing what he's doing. He's well clear at the moment, so now just keeping the car out of the walls, keeping it together, looking after the tyres, looking after the brakes, and probably praying that spits of rain don't turn into anything more.
What he's also got to contend with is the traffic that he will be up against as well. Trying to carve a non-damaging route through backmarking cars who, of course, they're all in their own race. Blue flags will be shown, of course, to advise those that might be backmarking cars that there is a faster car, pole position coming through, but you never know how they're going to behave, and you can't just make your car evaporate.
This is the fight for 7th place. To the inside of Niels Truger goes Tim Reiter. So Reiter is through. BMW versus BMW out of the corner that come. Tim Reiter, I would say, with quite a lot more experience than Niels Truger. I was being rude about Lachlan Robinson earlier. I'm terribly sorry about that. He is registered Emirati and Australian and Great Britain. So I guess take your pick. I know which one I'd go for. He is doing a great job though, looking for his best ever finish in ADAC GT4 Germany. Up until now, his best finish was a 9th place at Oschersleben earlier this year.
Reiter is not having this all his own way, you know. I have a feeling that this might not stay like it. Truger trying to come back. Now, who have we got running in P6? Maxi Turillian is P6. Denny Byrne is P5. Fuchs is P4. And then, of course, the top 3, Federer, Besler. What did I say? What did I say?
So there's Tim Reiter thinking he'd got the job done, and Niels Truger saying, no, you haven't. I'm coming back. These two cars are different teams, but they are identical, homologated BMW cars racing each other. Really good stuff, really level pegging. Tim Reiter for ME Motorsports in that number 66 car. Niels Truger in the 22 car for FK Performance Motorsport. Two very, very rapid teams. Out onto the pit straight. Once again they come. This time it looks like Tim Reiter has managed to get the job done. So not sure whether Truger has got anything else that he can bring to the table here. He's not giving up though, is he?
No, far from it. And well, this is going to keep Reiter keen, probably for the remaining 20 minutes plus 1 lap left in this race.
Federer continues to stretch his legs at the front, 5.2 seconds ahead of Berke Besler. The number 31 car, Oscar Christensen started, Lachlan Robinson took over, Avia WNS Motorsport. If you're behind the wheel of one of those cars, you are quick, and that is certainly the case here. There's an Avia WNS Motorsport car. Would that be Philip Goglock by any chance? No, it's not. It's Henrik Still, I beg your pardon, who's now taken over, but it's Tobias Bieler-Clausen, the number 18 car, BWT Mucker Motorsport, another one of the many up-and-coming superstars in GT4 racing. He has the experience of Henrik Still bearing down on him. And Henrik Still, who has been very, very successful in this series for a fairly long time, and he now challenging to the inside in what remains of that number 1 car. Clearly the brakes are not one of the things that remains because he's gone deep into the corner. I was just looking at Henrik Still. He's had a couple of wins in 2020 and in 2023. This is his 52nd race in this series. Tobias Bieler-Clausen, this is his 4th race in this series. So a bit of age and experience, but it's not proving to be much at the moment because Tobias Bieler-Clausen is still staying ahead of him. The number 18 car with Tobias at the wheel in 12th place. Henrik Still, I think we could probably excuse him because I should think there are a few dents and knocks on that Porsche that has been very much in the wars. The car that won the championship last year in the hands of Finn Zulauf and Josef Knopp. And Hendrik Still, who was teammates to Max Kronberg, who won the Trophy Championship last year. ADAC MX Motorsport did the Queen Sweep and indeed the Clean Sweep last year. I don't know what a Queen Sweep is, but that's something completely different. They won the overall championship, the Junior Championship, the Trophy Championship, and the Team Championship. So I think we can conclude that ADAC MX Motorsport are very, very good. Oh dear. Right, well, we carry on with this fight. So Tobias Bieler-Clausen, racing for Peter and Stefan Mucker's Motorsport, BWT Mucker Motorsport team. Are you all right there?
I'm perfectly fine, really enjoying this race. Federer, Bessler, Robinson, Fuchs, Berndt, Turillian, Reiter, Dröger, Fellner, Fedeg, Drexel, the top 10. There you go. I just wanted to get you up to date with who is doing what and where. Oh, we've got a slowing car here, Brian.
Yes, we have. Now, who is that is going slowly? That's Roman Fellner. Was that him?
I think it was.
It looked like a different colour from above. That's
okay.
Roman. Yeah, no, it is. You're right. Well, there's a colour blindness come back. So Roman Fellner.
Right. Back to the script, if you can.
Yes. What does it say here? Oh, yes, it says Federer continues to lead. Now, look at these battles that are raging on. This is for 9th place. Daniel Drexel, Linus Harder. Another two that have been in the wars a fair bit, I have to say. So, Harder in the 77 car.
It's quicker, but as we've said so many times before, and we do, and probably bore people with this, it's all very well being quicker than the car in front of you. Finding a way by is not necessarily so easy. Let's stay on board with Harner now. Is he going to try and stiff it up the inside? No. Preferring to take discretion the better part of valor. He'll keep the pressure on. Now, he's as close as he can. Is he going to get any draft off the back of this car? Absolutely fantastic. Into the yes we go, and almost a touch between the two of them. This is steady on. Swallowed a rat. ADAC GT4 Germany race 2 here. Harner then, you can see, you can almost feel the slipstream is getting the benefit of this. Dives to the inside, job done. Surely it's a slam dunk, isn't it?
Yeah, he managed to get it slowed down and then knew to slam the door in the face of Daniel Drexel. Love that onboard shot. You actually felt like you were there behind the wheel. Really, really good stuff. Takes a lot of bravery to be going full beans along the Zeppelinstrasse here with those walls up close, and absolutely brilliant stuff. But 9th place to Linus Harner, the number 20 car. Daniel Drexel, who took over from Luca Link and now relegated down behind them. Tobias Bieler-Clausen. Here's another look at it, and we've seen it many, many times where the car that's overtaken has not been able to slow it down, and then the overtakee has just ducked back to the inside and retaken the position.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not only slowing down, it's getting the blooming car rotated as well, isn't it? You know, because you can get a load of push on, which is understeer, and end up going wide, and that just opens up the gap on the inside for the overtaken car to come back and get a switchback.
Yes, and you think these are 180-degree corners, so you are really, really testing the lock of these cars. I don't know whether what kind of adjustments are made. I do know, actually, the Mercedes-AMG GT4 is newly homologated until 2029.
Okay.
So I can see you are thrilled by that.
Well, I am.
Oh, good. That's very good news. So, yeah, that is what we're going to be seeing for a couple of years yet to come, and it is really rapid, and that has been proven by the fact that Enrique Federer, 6.4 seconds clear of Berke Besler. You might think, well, this is all over. It isn't. We could get rain. We could get a safety car. Enrique Federer will be concentrating. A slip in concentration, and the wall is incredibly close, and it does not move. You can see he's using all the track, just being sensible. That's a wild ride behind him for the BMW, just sliding out of the corner. That's a lapped car. I think it might have been Maxi Turillian.
I think you're right.
So 13 3/4 minutes to go in this race. So up ahead, Benjamin Silvesterson, so lapping up to 15th place.
You can only just see Berke Besler into the back of that previous shot, you know, the gap at 6.5 seconds now. So Berke Besler running in P2 and actually not encroaching at all on the
and that's Tobias Bieler-Clausen, who has spun in the number 18 car. So that was in 11th place. Hopefully he's able to get it going. He does that, gets it to safety. The very spot where the sister car came to a halt at the beginning of the race, but fortunately able to get it going. But we'll see a replay there. What happened to Tobias Bieler-Clausen? Did he have contact from Hendrik Still? I think he did. Now, Still will argue that that place was there for the taking and that Clausen shut the door on him. Let's have a look. He did rather slam it, but the stewards will have a look at it. You're shaking your head.
I'm shaking my head thinking I'm glad I'm not a steward, because I think the gap was there initially, but my goodness me, that was a heck of a hit.
Yeah. Look how, I'm not saying he was breaking hard, but look how red those brake discs are on Hendrik Still's car. He can't argue that he wasn't on the brakes, can he?
At the back as well, I just think.
Throw the anchor out. Yes, indeed. But that's a real shame. So Tobias Bieler-Clausen, on his debut season in ADAC GT4 Germany, is relegated down to 16th place. The stewards will take a look at that. Right, the number 30 car, Alon Gabet, in 17th. I think that's a lapped car that he's with, because Roman Feldenfeldegg is in 18th place. I'm just looking to see, it's the 91 car. So Igor Litvinenko. So I'm just waiting to see if our graphics update. Looks like Litvinenko might have had a problem and dropped back here. Across the line we will come. So there is the number 30 car. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Of course, the 30 car is a lap down, isn't it? So there we go. A bit slow to the party, but I got there in the end. There's bits hanging off the Hendrik Still car now. What remains of it continues. They build them strong at Porsche. I tell you, if there was ever an advert you needed for a Cayman, this is it, because that's had everything thrown at it. Everything hanging off it, and now he's got a penalty. So what do I know? 3 visits to the penalty box, and that really is going to put pay to any chance of any points, and that's a real shame. Hendrik Still, Philip Gogelok, we chatted to them last night, and they were saying, we believe we are a potent combination. There's not much aerodynamic aid going on there, is there? Yes, it's hanging off. Yeah, we chatted to them, and they are just on buzzing about being in GT4 Germany, loving their partnership as well. But today, none of the glory of yesterday, indicating left that he's going into the penalty box. And
he's got to do that 3 times in succession, Brian.
Yeah, and it's getting into the realms of the team saying, do you know what, let's just park the thing up. Because getting points now is going to be a challenge. We have got 18 cars running, and we do pay down to 15th place.
So
he could keep going, I guess. We've got 10 minutes just over remaining of this race, but it is looking distinctly second-hand, the number 1 Avian WS Motorsport Porsche. And is just going to continue to drop further down the order. Meanwhile, the other end of the field, quite the opposite story. Enrique Federer in the number 11 car, 6.3 seconds to the good of Berke Besler in the BMW. There's a Porsche in 3rd. Remember last year, I think there were 6 Porsches in the race, and they finished in the first 6 places. Not like that this year, but Lachlan Robinson is the leading Porsche driver in 3rd place, 10.9 seconds, 11 seconds for the sake of a thousandth. Right, let's have an update here. So 6.481 between 1st and 2nd, and now just over 11 seconds back to Lachlan Robinson. Cedric Fuchs in that 4th place. So that would equal the best for Joel Mesh and Cedric Fuchs. They got that in race 2 at Oschersleben if things remain as they are. But we've still got 9.25 minutes remaining. I should think that Hendrik Still will probably park up in the penalty box and just stay there the number of times he's had to visit. There's the 31 car just passing through our picture. And Cedric Fuchs closing in. So the gap, 1.2 seconds between 3rd and 4th. So Cedric Fuchs going to deal the cruelest of blows and steal away the last of the podium positions from Lachlan Robinson and Oscar Christensen. Neither driver has yet to finish on the podium. So Joel Mesh, Cedric Fuchs in car number 12. They've never finished on the podium, and in car 31, Oscar Christensen and Lachlan Robinson, they've never finished on the podium. So this is personal.
There's a real impetus there, isn't there?
There's an impetus. In the background.
Good word there.
Yeah, very good. Let me write that down. Denny Burt would quite fancy if they did fight each other, because A, it would slow them down, and B, it would create a possibility for them to get together and him potentially to come and sneak past both of them. But time is running out. A little over 8 minutes. Lights flashing. People always ask, why do they flash the lights? The drivers say, anything I can do to distract the car in front, to make them miss the braking point, to make them jump, to startle them, whatever it takes to try and close in. They will do anything, these drivers, to close into the car in front. That's exactly what Cedric Fuchs is doing on Lachlan Robinson. Out along the pit straight we come, 7 3/4 minutes. The back marking Tobias Bieler-Clausen, having been involved in that incident just up ahead of them. This is third place. First and second, barring any disasters, looking pretty well set to finish as they are. But third, by no means, is settled. There in the background is Denny Byrne as well in the red and white Porsche. Some great shots as they get close to the barriers, close to the wall. Here we come, the battle for third. In the number 31 car, Lachlan Robinson. There is Denny Byrne in fifth. The gap between Fuchs and Burnt is 2.9. The gap between Robinson and Fuchs is now 0.7 of a second. This is all compressing. Robinson, the last of the podium positions, is going to feel the wrath of the cars behind before too long.
I think you're right, they are getting closer, aren't they? We are into the final stages of this race. 6 3/4 minutes remaining in this ADAC GT4 Germany race here, being led by Federer, who's got a comfortable margin, I would say, of 6.4 seconds, although when is a margin comfortable? You can never have enough, many would say, but as you can see, Fuchs is quicker, and he is encroaching, isn't he? He's getting closer to Robinson. But as we've said, at the risk of repeating ourselves, got to find a way by as well.
He took about 1/10 out of him on the previous lap. Just looking to see this time around what that gap is. He's certainly closing in, so it was 6/10 behind the last time around. It is now 7/10. So Robinson has responded slightly and has just opened up the gap a tad. So looking like he's not just going to be a complete prey there to the Mercedes behind him. Federer 6.4 in front, so comfortable holding the gap now to Berke Besler. This is third place. The yellow, black and white Porsche, the last of the podium positions, being driven by Lachlan Robinson, having taken over from Oscar Christensen, who did a great job qualifying that car on the second row of the grid.
Right. How close are they now in the final 5 minutes of this race? Fuchs is on a mission here.
He really is.
You can actually see how menacing that car looks from that camera angle.
3/10 out of the gap, so he's closed in by 3/10 on that last lap, so he is closing in once again under braking. Now is the back marking car of Tobias Bieler-Clausen going to play a part of this, because Robinson is going to have to maneuver his way past the pink and black Mercedes that is a lap down. He's going to have to find a route past it without losing time to the Mercedes that is behind him. So this is going to be fairly critical. Robinson is flashing the lights. He's saying to Tobias Bieler-Clausen, I'm coming through, I need the space. Now he's coming out into Dutzendijk, turn 4. This will be flat out around turn 5. He'll want to try and clear that Mercedes as quickly as possible, but he's not really catching up close enough to do it.
And the thing is, the blue flags are being waved at Clausen, quite rightly, but he's in his own race anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely, he is, and he will argue that Robinson is not really close enough to make the move anyway. So into turn 1, Cedric Fuchs now closing up under braking, less than 4 minutes remaining. This one is going to go to the wire. We're fighting for the last of the podium positions. We have a back marker. We have third place Lachlan Robinson. We have fourth place Cedric Fuchs. How will this shake out? It looks like first and second are pretty well settled at the moment, barring disasters. But the last of the podium positions is still all to play for. Third place, Lachlan Robinson. What will he do? Is he looking in his mirrors? Is he not allowing himself to be distracted by Cedric Fuchs? He's flashing the lights at Tobias Bieler-Clausen in front of him. But to be fair, Clausen is potentially opening up the gap.
I was going to say, he's faster than these two at the moment, I would say.
And that's despite having had contact and potentially damage to the car. So good job there from Tobias Bieler-Clausen. We knew he was good when he came into this. He's not helping Lachlan Robinson at the moment. 3 minutes remaining. Is Cedric Fuchs going to hurl anything extra at this to try and get on the podium? Is he going to try anything drastic? We're going to find out in the next 3 minutes. Make that 2 3/4 plus 1 lap. You feel as though if Lachlan Robinson can just keep it on the racing line, keep doing what he's doing, Cedric Fuchs is going to struggle to get that big Mercedes past him. Now, Tobias Bieler-Clausen moves to the side, allows him through, but in so doing exactly what we said might happen. Getting caught up in the traffic. Now Lachlan Robinson, side by side, it's a drag race. In towards turn 1 they come. Lachlan Robinson has the outside line. Can he shut the door on Fuchs? Into turn 1 they come. Here, looking down at the Grundig turn, Lachlan with a nose in front, but Fuchs has the racing line. Is he going to come back to the inside? He tries to. Fuchs has it covered off though. So third place going the way of Cedric Fuchs, but Lachlan Robinson coming back here into the Skoda S, but is it futile? Has he got anything else he can do? Less than 2 minutes remaining of this race. We thought the back marker might have something to do with it. It's exactly what happened. Lachlan Robinson getting out fumbled by Tobias Bieler-Clausen, and now Robinson coming back into the Dutzendijk turn to the inside, but he can't get it slowed down. Fuchs coming back. This is sensational stuff from ADAC GT4 Germany. Now, what can Lachlan Robinson do? He's got a slipstream out along past the pits. There's a little kink in the track here, but they'll take it flat out. He's on the outside line into turn 1, into Grundig, under braking. Fuchs has the racing line still. Can he get it slowed down? Will he cut back to the inside?
I think we're going to run out of time, but Denny Burnt is almost on them as well, Brian. What a brilliant race for P3 this is, and it's not done yet.
It isn't. I wonder whether if Fuchs got past Robinson would then be left for dead. Quite the opposite. Robinson is fighting back, and as you say, Denny Burnt is now involved in this as well. It all fell apart trying to lap the Tobias Bieler-Clausen Mercedes to the inside. Robinson, the car squirreling under braking.
He's done it.
And he's to the inside, but now Fuchs coming back around the outside. Another drag race as you were the lap before, side by side, but this time Robinson has the racing line into turn 1. Advantage Robinson. What will Fuchs do? Under braking. Can Robinson slow it down into Grundig? He's braking deep into the corner. Fuchs coming back. Burnt suddenly sees his chance for a third place trophy. 10 seconds remaining on the clock, plus 1 lap. Advantage Robinson still into the Skoda S. This is fantastic stuff. Cedric Fuchs dropping back into that 4th place, but I don't think he's done yet. Denny Burnt wants to get involved. The clock has struck 0. Where is our race leader? Is out at turn 5. Tell me what remains of this lap, plus 1 more. Robinson taking that line, under braking, holding it all together. Denny Burnt though now challenging Fuchs. That is a gift for Lachlan Robinson, because it means that suddenly Fuchs is having to defend instead of attack. And now, having been looking at 3rd place, Fuchs is looking at 5th, because Denny Burnt comes sailing past the Mercedes. He says, this is how it's done.
Well, Denny Burnt, I thought, might play into this and might be able to get on terms. He's got on terms far, far better than I expected to. I have to say, that has been awesome driving from Robinson. He'd lost the place. He'd lost it. But
brilliant.
He came back.
Up into turn 4, our race leader at the moment, Enrique Federer, is now just 1 corner away from home. He's going to come out onto the pit straight. He will see the checkered flag. It's going to be 4 wins out of 4 for Enrique Federer, and J-Mo hurtling a clean sheet of paper still in 2025. Berke Besler in second, along with Gabriella Piana. But what a battle for third place, eventually going the way of Lachlan Robinson and Oscar Christensen. Denny Burnt coming through at the last minute, along with Max Rozam for fourth place, and fifth for Cedric Fuchs and Joel Mest. Feels like scant reward, it really does, because they drove brilliantly. And can I just say, there are many drivers in more senior formulas that would do well to see some of the disciplined driving that we've seen, giving respect, giving space, door handle to door handle. A great example of racing from ADAC GT4 Germany.
There are so many replays we could throw in about this fight for P3. I thought it was all over for Robinson, but he just was not prepared to lie down and take it. Stop that for a game of soldiers, he said. And he came back at this. And I was the one that predicted Denny Burnt might be on this battle before the end of the race, and he really, really was, and managed to get it up into P4. But the battle for P3, it raged for many, many laps, and I'd like to know how many times the position changed, because it was a few. And
just a few.
I agree with you in that the racing between them, yeah, there was a little kiss here and there, but it was really respectful between the two of them. Fantastic example of racing.
Wow, that's 2 races running from GT4 Germany here at the Norisring. We've seen such great stuff. Enrico Forder, J-Mo Hurtling, Berke Besler, Gabriella Piano, Lachlan Robinson and Oscar Christensen. Those are the 6 drivers who will stand on the podium. Well, if we've got a season that's continuing like this, when you look at the sheets and you think, well, okay, car number 11 won all 4 races, you'll be like, oh, that's a bit of a dull season, isn't it? No. What racing. We had it yesterday. We wondered if that could be bettered. Well, certainly equaled, if not bettered, in terms of entertainment value. And we've had a massive crowd of 112,000 spectators here on the terraces at the Norisring watching DTM today. Anybody who went home early, well, they missed out. And they would have been thoroughly entertained by that. Not so much in the battles in this instance. Enrique Federer, look at that. 100 out of 100. They're nearly 2 wins ahead of Gabriella Piana and Berke Besler. Rafael Renhoff and Emil Heyerdahl, 49 points adrift, so certainly in a commanding position in the championship. I said to myself, I need to look after my voice. I'm not going to get overexcited this afternoon. Well, that didn't happen, did it? No,
it didn't. But you had every right to require a subscription to Strepsils after that race, because that was... Have another fag, why don't you? Besler and Robinson delivered. So give me the thumbs up, friend. I'm going to come and give you a hug. Honestly, the racing you guys have given us over the course of this weekend has been simply awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait for Nürburgring in August now, because it's just a talented field, so much talent. But the question is going to be, who can live with Enrico Federer and J-Mo Hurtling, because they do have a stranglehold on the top step of the podium. They continue their record. Both of them have won every single ADAC GT4 race that they've ever entered. That is quite a record. But I'm just going to say to you, last year...
Oh, do, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, Gabriella Piana and Michael Schrei won the first 4 races of the season. They did not win the championship.
Well, there you go.
Don't be... Oh, no, sorry, that's 2021 I'm looking at.
You numpty.
No, hang on.
Oh, hang on. We'll just pause everything.
No, actually, last year, Gabriella Piana and Michael Schrei won 4 of the first 5 races of the season. They did not win the championship. There we go. We'll edit that bit out when it goes out, all right?
Yeah, that's all right, then. Cut that.
Hang on, just check. No, that was 28. No, it wasn't. That was 2024. Good. Yes, celebrations. I think the conclusion is it's not over till it's over. That so much can happen and often does in ADAC GT4 Germany.
Yep, you're right. What a race. I mean, and, you know, we get excited about race winners, don't we? to heck with that. Often, and we say this often, don't we? And we go into TV production meetings where you're talking about various things and how often the best race is the race that is going on. Maybe for P4, 5, maybe for P3, and today it was for P3, wasn't it?
And thank you to our production team for focusing on that,
I agree.
because that's the sign of a good production team. You know what the battles are to follow. They've done a great job here, just following that fight for third place. And boy, I think I need to lie down after that. What entertainment that was, and we shall reflect on that for some time to come, I should think. There, like Lachlan Robinson, and I was told if I called him Lachlan, he'd punch me. It's spelled like that. It is Lachlan and Oscar Christensen in the ADAC MX Motorsport Porsche, taking that third place. And boy, did they have to work for that. Berke Besler for FK Performance Motorsport, along with Gabriele Piana in the BMW. Yet more trophies for Piana. I think he's probably got a fair few of those by now, but that's valuable points. But the car that came out on top for the 4th time in 4 races this year, SR Motorsport by Schnitzeland. They know how to prepare a Mercedes-AMG GT4. And with Enrique Federer and J-Mo Hurtling at the wheel, who can live with them? The two drivers just congratulating each other after what has been another perfect weekend.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. So the calm before the storm being the podium, storm of celebration, of course. And there the cars are lined up, and I think the podium is about to get underway right now.
Yes, there is Berke Besler on the right, Gabriele Piana on the left. Italy and Turkey represented in that car, and they will take the 3rd step of the podium. We're doing it in this order first. In 3rd place, that's 2nd. Here comes 3rd now, promoted them briefly. Oscar Christensen and Lachlan Robinson. It's the first time we've seen either of them on the podium on ADAC GT4 Germany. Now Piana and Berke Besler come along and take that 2nd step. But it's another win, another clean sweep for J-Mo Hurtling, Enrico Federer. They're getting used to this. And to the top step of the podium. And I think we'll get a representative from SR Motorsport by Schnitzeland Racing, who worked so hard to prepare this car. And now we'll have the national anthem. So, national anthem done. And Michael Blaufus, the Pirelli Motorsport director, often see him presenting trophies in the ADAC circuit, and Pirelli, who do a sterling job supplying the tyres for so many series in the ADAC. Sören Zinner from Schaeffler, who presents second place trophies. And Sascha Grun, Bundeswehr Senior Master Sergeant. They've got quite a Bundeswehr, I beg your pardon, who have quite a big presence here. They are presenting the third place trophies. And the team trophy as well. As I said before, wish we could get the first 6 up here, actually. They all deserve trophies. What has been an absolutely entertaining race. I mean, I'd say it was a slow burner. It started off quietly and then built to a crescendo. And what an end that was. and perfecting the torpedo, Gabriella Piana and Berke Besler. So I hope you've enjoyed it at the Norisring. It was only our second ever visit here for ADAC GT4 Germany. I hope we can do it all again next year. Our next stop will be, is still in Germany at the Nürburgring. We're going to be there from the 8th to the 10th of August. We look forward to seeing you then for races 5 and 6 of the ADAC GT4 Germany.